I'm Chris Benedetti, and this is Average Joe's Sports Talk.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
When my children started participating in band classes, we trusted Gadsden Music with everything the kids needed. They provide high-quality instruments at great prices. They service the instruments and make the rental process super easy.
All right, we're here today on our second stop on our Average Joe's band tour. We're at Gadsden City High School today, and I will let this young man in front of me introduce himself.
I'm Chris Benedetti, and I'm the new band director at Gadsden City High School. I'm assisted by my assistant directors, Mr. Stephen Arline and Miss Melissa Paget. We're fed by our 3 middle schools that are directed by Mr. Brian Bankston, Mr. Ollie Sullivan, and Miss Stacy Harris.
All right, Mr. Benedetti, you mentioned this is your first year here at Gadsden City. Tell us about your previous stops before you got here to Gadsden City.
Well, I graduated from Jacksonville State University. I grew up in Georgia and went to Stars Mill High School. And then I actually found my way to Ohatchee High School in Ohatchee, Alabama, where I spent the last 7 years working with and developing that program and making really close relationships with all the staff, coaches, and families out there. So this is a welcomed and positive change. My wife, Megan, and I are very excited about me starting here. But this is definitely going to be a little different, and we're excited for that challenge.
All right. This being your first year at Gadsden City, tell us about some of your goals for the band, some of your short-term goals, and some things you'd like to see happen on down the line in the future with the band.
I think anybody that starts out at a program really wants to see the program gel as much as they can. They want to see the kids get along, the staff get along. They want to obviously see growth as well as success. Coming into Gadsden, I know that Mr. Steve Reagan and Ms. Paget and Mr. Arline have done a lot of work to get us to where we are, and I'm really, I'm here to just try to take what we can and run with it. They've laid the foundation at the middle schools with Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Bankston, and Ms. Harris, and I just get the opportunity to drive the car now. They're my goals as far as short term, grow the band, make sure our numbers are up, make sure that we're having fun and the kids are really successful. And I'm very, very focused on kids receiving scholarship. My passion is in the classroom, making sure that kids are prepared to audition at the collegiate level if they choose to. I always want a kid to be able to go to school for free if they can go to school for free. As far as a long-term goal, I'd like to see our marching and concert bands be recognized statewide more so than they already are. We're hoping to one day apply to play at AMEA and some other conferences from a concert setting, and I think Mr. Arline and Ms. Paget's dedication to the program and what we all three are envisioning is going to give us that opportunity to be that successful.
Speaking about your assistants, Mr. Arline and Ms. Paget, me being a band guy, I know band directors, it's like a fraternity. Everybody knows everybody. I think you mentioned to me before you know those guys before you got here to Gadsden City. Talk to me about that relationship you had with them before you got to Gadsden City and how you guys kind of got to know each other.
Yeah. Well, I was actually blessed to march at JSU with Mr. Arline. We both are trombone players. I came in 2008 and met him there, and there's, unfortunately pictures out there of us being together on the marching field and having a good time. But they've both been here. Mr. Arline, I believe, has been here 2 years. Ms. Paget, I want to say 4. I could be wrong. But so we've seen each other a lot through me being at Ohatchee and then being at Gadsden, and us here at Gadsden hosting a lot of band events. Ms. Paget also comes from Ohatchee. She's a graduate of Ohatchee. She studied with Vern Townsend, who was out there for a long while. And so we've bonded over, just some stories about the school, about Mr. Townsend, about the community, and all positive things. And I believe she still lives out that way. And so it's wonderful to kind of have that backstory, that history, to be able to tie things together. It's made our work relationship even better, and it's making it easier for us to get in and get moving. The kids, I think, really notice that we're working as a team, and they're great to bounce ideas off of. So it's actually making my job significantly easier as we transition.
And you answered my next question. I was going to ask, knowing those guys previously, how's that helped you, this being your first year?
Yeah. Well, just knowing how they are as directors and what they've done and how successful they can be, it gives me an opportunity to really try to look more at the big picture stuff and let them teach. I mean, we're all three of us are obviously team teaching, but I'm not afraid to let them take the reins, and that's what I think is going to make us a very successful team, is that we're all going to get in front of the kids. We're all going to work at stuff together, and we're all trying to get the kids to be better in the same direction. We're all wanting to go the same direction. We have different ideas and we bounce them off each other. So it's going to be a really solid team.
Good deal. We're going to kind of transition a little bit. We're going to talk about the band and what you guys have going on this year. Numbers wise, where are you guys at numbers wise
So
this year?
the marching band is right at 200 members, and then in the concert band we're obviously a little more than that. You get some kids that don't do marching band and stuff, but we're actually very pleased with those numbers. Every program out there suffered a hit from COVID and are still probably suffering from it. There's many people who don't want to come back, who are still cautious about it. And we're being safe and cautious about it as well. But we're very pleased with the numbers this year. The kids seem to be very welcoming of me. Again, I think that comes from just how Mr. Arline and Miss Paget have portrayed me to them and have helped me get through that. I owe them a lot of credit with that. And they both actually did an outstanding job prepping for this, because as many know, when you transition in the summer, it makes it difficult, because a lot of times when you're working on your show and designing, you do it in the spring or even late fall. And so they've been working very hard on getting our show this year. Our show's called Disturbia. It's going to be a lot of fun, lots of really great tunes. They've really put this whole package together for me to come in and just work with, and so I do want to make sure they're getting lots of credit, because they've worked very hard for it.
Good deal. You mentioned your show this year is Disturbia. Tell us about that show and some of the things you guys got planned for that this year.
Yeah, so the show's titled Disturbia, and that's because our dance feature this year is actually Disturbia by Rihanna. Okay. So a lot of people recognize that. We're opening with Welcome to the Black Parade, then we go into our dance feature by Rihanna, Disturbia, and then we actually move over into Creep by Radiohead, and Aha and is our closer. There's a lot of fun drill moves for the kids this year. They've been very, very interesting as we try to learn them in the heat. And then there's actually some pretty quick movement there in our closer while the drums kind of get featured, and it's very exciting. Lots of like, as far as the colors, we've got greens and purples, and it's hopefully setting the whole stage for it. And we're just super excited to go out and move well and play well, and the kids have really brought it these last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Coming in, Gadsden City has always been known as a entertainment type group. They want to go out and entertain, and the shows are super entertaining. Is that something you plan on kind of keeping that style going forward?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's about entertaining the crowd as well as being successful competitively and stuff. And I definitely think that Mr. Reagan before me, Miss Paget and Mr. Arline had done an outstanding job, and we're going to continue that tradition of being entertaining. Okay. We're hoping to bring back a lot of stuff that's been out there in years past that have helped with the entertainment. Like I said before, there is a little bit of setback from the COVID things, and I think everybody's going to go through that. But I think this year alone, just their performance ability, their music, the show design is really going to bring a level of entertainment you're not going to see from other bands in our area. Okay,
good deal. Performance dates, people know marching bands, of course, are there at every football game, but you do have outside performances that come up during the year. Tell us about some of those performances and competitions that you guys are going to participate in this year.
Well, we're really excited. We always open up with a county exhibition, which is I believe it's the 13th of September. And then, we always have Mid-South, which is the oldest running marching contest in the southeastern United States. It's been around since, I believe, 1960. Might be 4, but it's been around a long time.
I think it's getting close to year 50, if I'm not mistaken.
And so we're looking at the last Saturday of September is going to be Mid-South, which is a huge event here, and we're actually really looking forward to a lot of bands coming out. Since there was no competitions last year, and I believe last year was only the second time Mid-South's ever been canceled, and so we're looking forward to bringing all those bands back out for that. We also have quite a few parades we do outside of marching contests. We are planning on competing in the first 2 weekends of October, but we have some parades. In November we'll be participating in the Veterans Day Parade. We'll obviously do the Homecoming Parade and the Gadsden Christmas Parade, and then they've brought to my attention we do a parade. I think it's in January, and it's a community parade that kind of brings everybody together. It's a lot of fun. So the kids are going to have a lot of performance opportunities when it comes to that on its own. And then, of course, this year we're really putting a lot of focus on the concert band and the jazz program. Jazz program is going to really take off. We're hoping with Mr. Bankston and Miss Paget's help, we're going to really have opportunities for them to perform outside of just concert settings, whether it be at the Jace Jazz Festival or at a Lions Club or anything like that. We're hoping to get out into the community and do more, maybe even possibly a First Friday.
Okay, good deal, good deal. You spoke about Mid-South. That's a long-standing tradition here in Gadsden, and like you said, I think we're getting close to year 50, or we may have passed it. I've lost count. But talk to us about the importance of Mid-South and what it means to this area and to the band program here at Gadsden City.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that it's a big financial part of what it takes to run a program. Everybody knows that there's only so much money out there, and every program has to fundraise and do things. And
Right.
It is obviously a fundraiser first, but I think it's more important than just a fundraiser. It's that sense of tradition and pride. Mid-South has been going on for a long time, and there are bands that there are students in the band whose parents went to Mid-South. And there's it is a blessing to get to take over something like that and get to continue that tradition. We're super excited to have people here and bring back the Mid-South we all remember. We're very much looking forward to all of that.
Okay, good deal. With this being your first year here at Gadsden City, I'm gonna let you have the floor. Is there something you want to say to the school and the community? Just kind of talk to the community and the school.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to get out into the community more with the band program and everything. I'm very passionate about the area. The biggest draw to the job outside of the clout that comes with Gadsden City, because the school across the board, whether it be athletics, academics, or the fine arts, is doing outstanding. But the other big draw is that I get to stay in the area. My wife and I are very excited to live here and live and grow up, and hopefully one day raise a family here. We're very happy with that. So because of that, it's a big passion of mine to do more community outreach, to do more things where the band's playing, and to get the community involved with this program. We're blessed at Gadsden to have lots of different events, and we're blessed to have a city that supports the fine arts, and we have so many kids in school involved in the activity that it's hard not to just want to share that with everybody in town and constantly be doing things. So I encourage you, if you haven't met me, come by my office. Again, I'm Mr. Benedetti, Chris Benedetti, Mr. B, and it's always open. I want to meet the kids. I want to meet the families. I want to meet the community. But I ask everybody to be patient, because I'm trying my best with names. But I'm very excited to be here, and I look forward to many long years of happy and successful band program.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you guys this year. Looking forward to that great halftime show this football season.